Starting a podcast doesn't have to be expensive. You don't need a massive studio or top-of-the-line gear to create a great sounding show. So whether you're on a tight budget or just testing the waters, here are a couple of great options under $100. The most important piece of podcasting equipment is a good microphone. I recommend going with a USB microphone because they plug in directly to your computer and you don't have to mess with an interface. The first is the Audio-Technica ATR 2100X USB. It is a longtime favorite microphone for beginner podcasters. At the time of recording, you can find it for about $80. The Samson Q2U is becoming a more recommended mic and is a little cheaper, around $70. And the sound is almost as good as the ATR 2100X USB. Both of these microphones are dynamic, meaning they pick up less background noise, which is crucial if you're recording in an untreated space. The great thing about both of these microphones is that they allow you to expand your setup using XLR if you want. These devices allow you to connect professional microphones to your computer and give you more control over the sound. Some great beginner options include the PreSonus AudioBox USB 96. It's a solid option with 2 XLR inputs, so you could easily have a 2-person setup. The Mackie Onyx Producer 2x2 is similar, but a little cheaper. It still provides great sound and quality for the price. And if you want to peek at my setup, I currently use an older version of the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 for my interface and an XML BCD1 for my microphone, though I'll be moving to a Shure SM7B in the near future just because I have one. Headphones are necessary since they help you hear yourself, and if you hear yourself, you can catch background noise, mic pops, or any other weird audio issues before they ruin your recording. And while you can use any headphones if you're recording a solo show, I recommend closed-back over-the-ear headphones to prevent sound bleed. The Audio-Technica ATH M20X are a solid choice for budget-conscious podcasters. They're what I've been using for the last 6 or 7 years off and on personally when I'm editing. And the Sony MDR 7506 are used by professionals, but they're still affordable enough for beginners. Some folks like the in-ear wired headphones as well for aesthetics, especially if you're doing video for your podcast. And the Shure SE215s would be my recommendation if you want to go this route. I've been using them on and off for the last year, and I know our CEO has been using them on his own show. Okay, now that we've talked about the right gear, let's go ahead and talk about the setup. A great microphone is not going to help if you're recording in a room that is super noisy. So here are a couple of tips to get the best audio you can. 1. Use a pop filter. It reduces harsh P and S sounds. Those are also known as plosives and sibilants, and nobody wants to hear them. I'm sure they drive you nuts when you hear it in a podcast too. In order to avoid plosives and sibilants, go ahead and keep your microphone at the right distance, since you may need to increase or lower the gain. And the gain is how much input the microphone is picking up. So keep that in mind. You can adjust that as you will per microphone. Also, try not to turn your head off axis. So if you're talking into your microphone, talk straight into it. Try not to turn your head away from it because your microphone doesn't really follow you wherever you go. Record in a quiet space. You can avoid reverb by adding rugs, curtains, or foam panels. Wooden floors can be a challenge, so make sure you throw a rug. And as I've said before, even your closet can be a tremendous sound dampening space. Don't forget it. Once you've recorded your episode, the next step is editing. The good news is that you don't need expensive software or years of experience to make your podcast sound professional. If you're new to podcast editing, I would recommend Descript. Descript makes it incredibly easy and their plans start at $12 per month. Now, Blubrry and Descript also work seamlessly together, so once your episode is ready, you can have Descript send your finished file to your Blubrry account for publishing and distribution. If you're budget conscious or looking for something free, Audacity has been around for more than 20 years and it's very powerful. It's a traditional editing experience, but it's dependable and easy to learn. If you're on a Mac, GarageBand is suitable as well, so just try it out and see what works best for you. Even with a great microphone, your audio may need some fine-tuning. Audionic's been around for 20 plus years and they know what they're doing. And what it does is it automatically adjusts your audio levels, removes background noise, and ensures your episode meets professional podcasting standards without you having to be an audio engineer. Though you can get Audionic separately, it's an add-on for Blubrry hosting customers. It's powered by Audionic and is a great add-on. Also, don't forget about Adobe Podcast. For $10 a month, they actually have a very cool enhanced speech tool that you can use as you record that can actually improve your audio quite a bit. So let's go ahead and do a quick recap. We recommend the Audio-Technica ATR 2100X USB or Samson Q2U since they're USB XLR and allow your podcast setup to grow with you. Always monitor your audio with good, comfortable headphones. If you decide to move to an XLR setup, you'll need an audio interface like the Mackie Onyx Producer or PreSonus AudioBox, though there are a lot out there. Descript makes editing easier if you're a beginner, but if you just want to go the traditional route, Audacity and GarageBand are also great pieces of software. And don't forget, Blubrry has everything you need to start and grow your podcast from hosting to mastering. You can find all the gear I talked about in the description below. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Even tell us what your setup is. We'd love to help and we'd love to know how you're recording your show. And that's all the gear you need to start podcasting on a budget. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel for more podcasting tips. I've been Dave with Blubrry. Thank you so much for watching and happy podcasting.